So this is just a quick video of where I am. It's a Wednesday evening and I'm just starting to put a bit of the woodwork. I also had my little screws arrived, so I've managed to put the light fittings up. So just going to show you what I've done. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but the light fitting is now fitted. Looks pretty professional, although I say it myself. And over this side I've started to fit some of the wood and fitted this nice and secure and tight, so it works perfect. Wood's fitted just down to the beam that I've got above the window there. Now it's starting to fit above the top, and as I've done more I'll show you, but that's the next job. So that last clip you saw was probably about 3 weeks ago now. I've not done a lot. Day or two, I think, after I filmed that, I finished off the wall here, so you can see that, well, and finish it off, I've got it down to that sort of waist height, and it's the same on both sides. And that's pretty much it stopped. It's been Christmas. Today's actually New Year's Day. So in the lead up to Christmas, I didn't really do anything. I had lots of things to do, lots going on. You know it is. So I didn't do anything. Today, New Year's Day, I'm going to carry on. I've been today, and I don't know whether you can see on that, I'll tilt it down on the floor here, it's not really clear, but I spent about £140 this morning on wood, and in theory that will finish off the cladding on both sides for the walls. I've got some of this similar wood to I had down here. This was 12mm by 44. They hadn't got any 12 by 44 in stock. They only got 12 by 33, I think it is, or 34 wide. But hopefully that should be okay. So that I'll be running that around to where the screws are, just to make it look a bit neater. So I bought that, and I've bought some big heavy stuff for the bed. So I'll talk about that when I put that together. But I've measured it all out. Again, typical. I'd measured it all out, worked out what I needed, got to the shop, and they hadn't got exactly what I'd planned to get in stock. But hopefully I've got enough for the bed frame. So so today's job is going to be to finish off the walls, and well, possibly start the bed frame. I sorted out it, but we'll see how we get on really. So yeah, and as soon as I've done a bit more, I'll show you another clip. Happy New Year as well. Okay, so just so you can see the one side, that's now completed. Still got to do along the top here, the edging, but going to do the other side next. Shouldn't be a big job. That last bit there just took me, well, besides the fact I had to go and get some more screws, but if I'd been at it the whole time, probably an hour to do that bottom bit, so it's not that labour intensive or that time consuming job. Okay, it's the same day, it's New Year's Day, and I've finished the cladding on the walls, so I'm going to give you a quick show of what I've done. So as you can see, actually I just said I finished the cladding, and that's a lie. I haven't. There's a tiny bit left, but which I'll explain in a minute. But everything else is done. That wire, so I've done a down to the ground there, right the way across. Some of these bits, and there's a little bit of a gap. I don't know whether you can see it. Just here. It doesn't. Just here. That doesn't matter because the bed frame is going to come to that sort of height anyway, so it's not a problem. Just managed to cover up a lot of the wires around there, which is good. Just stop them getting caught, etc. That wire over there, if you're curious, is the last one. That's a slightly bigger wire. That's going to be for the fridge, if I put one in, which I almost certainly will, and for the sink for the tap, if I put a water pump, electric water pump. Well, I am tempted to do a hand pump job. Yeah, done that side as well. So all that's left now is just the bits up here, if you can see down that line there, and actually it's a bit more prominent on this side. So I've got to fill those in, which is quite easy to do. This is a little bit of a sampler here. I just put a little bit of wood in, and then I'm going to run some pieces along there. Yeah, but pretty much it's finishing here, so I'll be able to finish that off. Well, possibly do it tomorrow, but in the next day or two. It's one more sort of evening session to tidy up and that, and then the rest of this wood that I've got down here will be the bed frame. So that'll be the next job. Yeah, so it's coming on okay. I've now, again, this is a couple of days later, I've now filled in the corners up here. I thought it was going to be an easy job. Quite frankly, it wasn't as easy as I thought. The problem was that the wood at the very top here wasn't that secure. It was more sort of sitting on the tongue groove because there was nothing behind it, no pillars to secure it against. I know that sounds a bit of a bodge job, and possibly it was a bit of a bodge job. In fact, some of it I replaced up here, but either way, I've sort of made it up as I went along. So effectively the plywood goes up into the ceiling area, and then I've got this is at 12mm by 34mm paneling. Originally on the first one, which I did in the far corner over there, I tried to glue it, but it didn't want to stick, so I've had to screw it, which I was slightly annoyed about. There's a few screw holes. They're not particularly noticeable, I don't think, and also there's some areas where the light, I don't really can see that with the light on it. Possibly I've had to cut it away slightly, which doesn't look bad, but I haven't had to do it on the other side, so probably not ideal. But to be honest with you, I can't imagine anyone's going to be staring at that. The other thing that I intend to do anyway, which is a bit twee, I know, but is to run along here and right the way round, so where all this beading is, just some sort of fairy lights, so it'll obscure what's there anyway. So it's secure, it's tight, and it ain't going to fall down, which is my main concern. But I say possibly it could have been finished slightly better, but there you go. But that's that side, and if I show you on that side, so I'll put my hand in front of the camera, so if I show you on that side, it actually doesn't look too bad. So I've got the wood on the floor here now. I'm not going to start it this evening, but that's ready for the to do the bed. So all I'm going to do now is the this socket set now, which hopefully won't take me long, so I'm going to have a go at sticking that on. I bought a black socket here, which I will do. I can get out the bag while I'm holding it, but so it sort of matches, perfect, but it matches the light switches, so hopefully it should look quite good. So I'm going to do that next, wire that in, and then I'll show you that. Finished. I'm happy with that, and I think you'll agree it looks good. So we've got all the electrics in. It does work, by the way. I've just tested it. That's it. Next job, the bed frame. One last thing, actually, I was just admiring my handiwork, and I remembered. Well, I haven't put in the. You can't see where I'm pointing. Sorry. I said down here where the screws are. You might recall that I was going to put in some batons, and I haven't done that yet. I haven't forgotten. I've wanted to tell you why I hadn't done it, because it might make a bit of sense. Along some of them I could do on the roof and that, but down here I haven't done it because when I've got the bed frame in, when I've got it in place, I'm then going to use the baton to rest on top of the bed frame and hold. Besides screwing it on, it also give a bit of pressure on this piece of wood that's running along here, so it sort of kind of serve two purposes. So I want to put it in once I've got the bed. I want to put that on the wall, or those on the wall, once I put the bed frame in, because then I've got a fixed piece of wood that I can anchor it to, if you like. So I haven't forgotten to put those ones on. I just haven't done it for that reason. I could put some of them on, quite frankly, but I may as well do them all at the same time. So that's the reason they're not done. So I hadn't forgotten, in case you were worried. I'm sure you probably were.